Right, if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning right here on Enterprise Television. Now to our main conversation for today. Joma, over to you.
Yes, over to me.
Yeah.
Thank you. The Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) has confirmed the seizure of a whopping 844 units of rifles and 112,500 pieces of live ammunition legally imported into the country. Adewale Adini, Controller General CG of the Customs, on Monday at a press conference in Port Harcourt, confirmed the authenticity of a video on the seizure that circulated last week. According to Adeni, a 40-foot container, which originated from Turkey and based on a number of risk factors, became a subject of interest. However, investigation revealed that the importer attempted to circumvent procedure through the outlet of a private bond terminal.
Very true. And consequently, on Friday, June 21, the suspicious container was subjected to a thorough physical examination, and the examination results revealed the following: 844 units of rifles, 112,500 pieces of live ammunition, 764 units of Tomahawk, Joseph Magnum Black Pump Action Rifles, 10 units of Vane Karen Gunmaker, Joseph Magnum Silver Pump Action Rifles, 50 units of Vane Karen Gunmaker Double Barrel Rifles, 20 units of Vane Karen Gunmaker single barrel rifles, exclusive series, sterling high quality live ammunition, and 34-gram 25 plastic shotgun shells that are 70 mm.
That's true. The Customs CG said the rifles and ammunition were concealed in various items such as doors, furniture, plumbing fittings, and leather bags, noting that the duty paid value of the container is 4.2 billion naira.
Wow, that's a very big one if you ask me. And yes, to discuss this very sensitive, trendy, and important news story with us, Vice Vanso Feli. Thank you very much for hanging on. And joining us right about now is Dr. Olainka Oyebile, educator and public affairs analyst. Good morning, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Yes, so there we have it. If I, at some point while reading that particular news, I got tired because the amount of the rifle, the volume we're talking about, and money involved in it is humongous, if you ask me. Are we in a war-torn country? Are we in a war-torn country? Dr. Olainka.
I must say that I'm alarmed and scared. Even not in Libya or Lebanon will you have this amount of ammunition and guns being imported. And even if they are imported, we may be able to understand that, okay, maybe those countries are in a war situation. Is any section of Nigeria preparing to go to war? Not even during the 1967-70 Civil War do we have all
Did we have?
So the question is, are there no more what they call pre-shipment inspection? Because I know that when a cargo or whatever is shipping out to a particular country, there's what they call pre-shipment inspection, which will involve the country from where it is going and from where it is leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And when the ship or the cargo leaves, the country of destination will be informed that so and so things are what are in this cargo. So is it that when this ship left Turkey, it went to a different country where these things were loaded in, or those are exactly what it left Turkey with? So it scares me. Are we going to war? And assuming the custom officials are not that vigilant, Will all those things have entered into this country? Who is the person or who are the group of persons involved in this importation?
Doctor, surprisingly, the Nigerian custom did say that they were aware, from intelligent report, that trickled to them, that something like that was coming into the country. And this raises the question, what you asked about pre-shipments and all that information. So, of course, the question still is, why, if they had this information prior, why was it difficult for them to have allowed it even, land in the shores of the country?
Well, maybe those who are versatile in maritime affairs can be able to tell us that, because I know there's a way you can tell a ship coming that no, you are not going to berth in this place. Because, they've even collected
the
duty. So that shows you that if you know, or if you have been told that this is what it is carrying, why did you collect the duty? So there are questions we must ask. In fact, we as much as we credit the custom for doing a good job, they must also invigilate or investigate some of their own personnel. How did we allow this to happen? How did we allow it to birth? How did we allow that humongous custom duty to be collected? And then, why it's good that they were able to let us know what is there, but we must also follow it through. It is not enough for what we have done. Then what happens after now?
Very true.
What are we going to do with those weapons? Who is going to be responsible for it, all those things and so on?
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Over to you, Barrister Feli. Now, looking at the volume of this particular goods, do you think this is the first time it's happening? Because looking at the information that was produced through their collaboration with the intelligence community, it was stated that they followed strict diligence and the importer attempted to circumvent their procedure through the outlet of a private bond terminal. Now, do you think this is the first time it's actually coming in to the country, this volume? No, it might not be this month, but this will not be the first time. Because there should have been a particular passage, free flow, that would now give them the opportunity and the attempt to want to bring
Don't try it the
this
second time.
particular amount. Now, do you think our customs service are to be trusted?
Well, it's not much about what I think. It's much about what is happening. Maritime crime have been with humanity from the days of yore until date. If you look at Article 26 and 51 of the United Nations Armed Trade Treaty, Armed Trade Treaty, it laid down some very fundamental procedures under which arms and ammunition are purchased, and you have transportation, interstate and country transportation of arms and ammunition. First of all, ask yourself, which country is this thing coming from? Turkey. Turkey is as porous as the Nigerian, very corrupt country. As corrupt as we are. It's like talking about something coming from Mexico and all that, and you think you are going to have sanity somewhere? It won't happen. There was compromise over there before it was loaded in the first place. And you notice that they claimed they were bringing something else and loaded it under another. So a surreptitious maneuvering somewhere that made it possible to leave the shores. And that couldn't have been without the knowledge of some persons compromised over there in their own custom service. Okay? Now, let me go back to the treaty, because that is what is fundamental. United Nations Treaty, Turkey is a signatory. Nigeria is a signatory. So 2 countries who are signatory to that treaty are involved here. Now, the treaty says that when you are importing arms and ammunition from a country, individuals are not expected, are not allowed to import arms and ammunition of that volume. It is the sovereign. Even the sub-sovereign is not allowed. The state is not allowed. Individuals in Nigeria, they are not in charge of defense. States are not in charge of defense. Local government are not in charge of defense. Defense is in the exclusive list. It's the federal government that have the prerogative and the authority to import arms. First, the country where the arms is being purchased from and the country where it's being taken to, there are questions that are raised all over the world where they sell arms. Before arms are sold to you, you have to provide information as to what you are using it for and the purpose, the authority, whether you have the authority to purchase in the first place from your own homeland. Okay, even in the United States, when everybody carries gun, before you purchase, they put you through certain tests, psychological and medical tests, to ascertain your fitness to handle arms before it is sold to you. It is not bottled water. It is explosive. It is something that can take the life of people, so they don't sell it anyhow. Now, how were all these questions averted? The Nigerian government, the first time they made the application to buy the Tucano jet from the US, the US government declined. You know why the US government declined? The US government declined because they were asking for the Tucano jet to fight bandits. The federal government said, no, we cannot sell to you. Go back and first of all evaluate them and declare them terrorists to the world before you can purchase the Tucano jet. So if you are buying explosive, you are buying any equipment that could lead to mass destruction, you must identify the purpose you want to use it for. And you must declare and gazette that this set of persons are enemy of the state before you can purchase it. So the United States compelled Nigerian government to do that before they sold it. Now, even though President Buhari then bypassed the National Assembly to purchase it, the laws violated within the United States don't care. What they care about is international law. And the international law says you must make that declaration and then gazette it in your state law before those Tucano jets were sold. So in this case, I'm sure those questions must have been raised, or I am sure that these arms that were purchased from Turkey were purchased from the black market.
All right.
Over there.
Yes, purchasing from the black market, the total sum, the cumulative total sum was set at 30 billion naira. Plus the duties and everything. Coincidentally, this is happening in Rivers State, where Asari Dokubo, has been said to have floated private military arm. So is it possible, hypothetically, to draw a connection in all of this?
That will be. You cannot make such conclusion until there is evidence to that effect. That will be conjecture. You understand? One of the things that is forbidden in my profession is for you to stand before a court of law and tell the judge that, my lord, I think that, my lord, I was told that in law, you cannot be told anything. Only material evidence are admissible. Okay, so you have to prove if there's a nexus between those ammunition and the group, then it is established. But it's not also enough. You have to go further. Maybe to petition or to make, even when you petition, it's not enough. You call for questioning or you make arrests, you prosecute before you can really make assertions. Okay? But we know that there are a lot of criminal groups and we're not surprised. There are people who wake up on a daily basis, that's their business. How are the Boko Haram carrying AK-47 all over the place? How do the kidnappers get heavyweight and lightweight weapons? How do they get it? Boko Haram members carry rocket launcher. Yes. Rocket launcher that you can use to shoot down an helicopter.
And what millions?
Yes, they have it. They have it. AK-47, one is 5 million naira. They have it in abundance and they have the ammunition. How do they get it? It's through all this, because the people who go to purchase it don't go to purchase it in those countries from the right source. They buy it from the black market. Okay, because every country have pockets of criminality everywhere. Even in the United States, it's possible to find it in the black market. It is possible to maneuver the seaport and all that. Those things are possible. Crime is crime all over the world. Okay? But what the Nigerian government must not do, but this is not the first time. We've seen where they intercepted drugs, but what we don't hear is the prosecution. At the end of the day, customs will shine. Sometimes they shine and they go underground to compromise with the same people they just. So, who is the person? Because goods are not imported by spirits. Somebody's name is on the bill of lading.
Yeah.
That is the principal suspect. Now, there are other suspects around. Make an arrest, prosecute them, and because this is not safe for the country.
Very true. Very true. Yes. So, Doctor, of course, when we take a look at this, just a couple of months back, the Nigerian Customs Service was indicted. Some personnel of the Nigerian Customs Service, they were indicted for bribery, corruption, and of course, allowing for contraband goods, to be brought into the country. And just like the barrister did say, compromise is one of the biggest faults and issue we have with the Nigerian Customs Service. How do you think the Nigerian Customs Service personnel will be better motivated so they can continue this awesome work they've just done, especially with this interception?
Well, in all honesty, there is no level of mobilization or carrots you can throw to any establishment that you will not have the black lanes. The customs is not the only arm of government that has such problem. Those problems. The problem is in all facets of our national life. But the important thing is there must be serious check and balances. Apart from that, all those who have been found guilty must be seen to be punished, because it is when you don't punish people that people get away with such things that others are encouraged. But in a situation where a culprit is caught and is severely punished, I mean, if you lose your commission or your service, maybe 35 years or whatever year they have spent, and then they will go to prison, others will learn their lesson. So I think, rather than thinking that all this problem is only rife in the custom, it is in all facets of national life. And as he has said, it is not only in Nigeria that happens. It happens everywhere in the world. Man has that tendency to be rebellious. But it is that punishment, that fear that if I'm caught, I'll be punished, that make every man to be on the right side of the law. But if it is a situation where I know that even if I'm caught, I know some big man somewhere that will call and say, please leave that guy, is my boy or is my whatever. But in a situation where the laws are followed, everybody is punished, whether you are son of... Look at the US. The son of the president is undergoing trial now. It wouldn't have happened in Nigeria. It won't happen. But if you have a system that makes sure that every infraction is punished, no matter how highly placed the culprit is, it will work. Okay. So that's just what I think will solve that kind of a problem.
Thank you, Doctor. Barrister Feli, in 60 seconds, looking at this current topic and ground, at this current issue, and if we should go down memory lane, there's never been a time with the customs, something this huge, and the culprits have been brought to book or prosecuted. Should Nigerians believe that something different will happen with this particular
What I would say is that
And
Nigerians,
Doctor, sorry, and just to add to it, so that you can, if possible, the investigative journalist Fishayo Shoyinbo, who did an awesome job with the Nigerian Customs Service, did say there's always price for everything. Now, in addition to her question, do you think that whoever that imported this didn't maybe present more than enough price?
well, I'm not in the picture, but I know that the devil is in the detail.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will say is that we don't have a totally clean custom operatives. Okay, yeah, this may just be one case of the culprits maybe trying to play smart with the custom. Perhaps you have this, or this might be a case of threat too to the custom.
Yeah.
Because the man who takes bribe, I know he's circumventing the law. When he sees something that is likely to take his own life too, he might be threatening to say, no, you can go and bring another thing. This one will not allow it to go. Okay, because that one have capacity to also threaten his own life and the corporate integrity of the country for which. So you talked about whether this will take a detour. Now the question is this: Nigerians should be alert enough. People should follow this case to its logical conclusion. You see, we don't know how these cases end up. That is why we have so much doubt as to whether bringing it to the fore and then except for when they, the NDLA and all that, they arrest people with cannabis and all that, and they set it ablaze in our presence.
Yeah.
We see it in flames in our presence because they're empowered by that section 19 of the NDLA Act to destroy and prosecute. Okay, so they don't need the law courts. They don't need a court order to destroy. Okay, because they're illicit materials. Okay, so what we should do is to make sure that we put an eye on the case and see how the case goes, so that once there's foul play, we can raise alarm. But what we do in Nigeria, we don't really care about, much so because people are really interested in their survival as against their safety.
Yeah.
Yes, so they have sacrificed their safety for survival. And when you don't have safety, survival is not also possible. Because they work hand in hand. So when you have one, that you have the other. If you don't have one, you don't have the other. So let's watch this. The journalists who report maritime stories and all that, they should feed the public more. They should engage the public more. They should let us know how this is going. And CSOs, NGOs, and the rest of them should put an eye on this. Let's see how far this goes. But the truth is that the persons involved, when they are prosecuted, because they too will have to come and give their own defense, whether they legally acquire this or not, and what purpose is for, whether they have an authority under the law to bear arms or to import arms, and for what purpose, who sent them, and issues like that. We have to ask those questions.
Very true. And finally, on the light mood, actually, when I was going through that particular report, at the very end, amongst the seizure, the Custom Service equally said they seized about 722 bills of used clothing worth 144 million naira. And some Nigerians who are calling for, why we are already in an economic mess? Why not allow this, this used clothing to come in? Why seize them in the first place? I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, maybe they are but those clothes are in the same bill of lading with the illegal materials. The customs have a right to do what they want to do. It might be temporary seizure, but that one is not illegal, except it's not a contraband.
And they also seized rice and shared why they seized this goods in particular, though that's their job too. But looking at the current state at which some Nigerians can't even afford good clothing, for example, some persons can't buy the ones that are actually newly made, do you think, okay, they should actually learn to weigh some of these things out?
Doctor.
Well, you see, the moment you begin to think that some people don't have this, then we should allow it. You are already shifting the goalpost. So if it is illegal and it because for me, those clothing might be like a decoy. Okay, now the ammunition were not imported in whole. They were put inside furniture.
Yeah, furniture.
So you can as well say, okay, let us allow them to take the furniture in and then no. It shouldn't go like that. I think all those things were just being used as a decoy to take the attention away from their illegal duties.
Very true. Yeah, we can go on and on and on. But of course, we'd love to say a very big congratulations to the Nigerian custom for really going after those who imported these very illegal products to Nigeria, and hope that they do more. To whom much is given, much is expected. Thank you so very much, Ambassador Fansufeli, for being part of our show. Dr. Olaika Oyebile, thank you so very much for being part of our show. But most importantly, we'd love to say thank you to you for giving us your time whenever we call. Please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com, and also like, comment respectfully, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry Igwebike.
Now, Choma Okoye.
On behalf of the entire team of Enterprise Television, we'd love to say thank you once more, and bye-bye from us.
Bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.